What's happening, guys? Welcome to another down and dirty review. We just got out of Rambo Last Blood, and holy smokes, there were some savage clavicle breaks. There was some savage death.
My God, that movie was absolutely... We're actually sitting at Tender Greens that's closed right now. Whammy. And look, it was exactly what you'd expect out of the last installment of a Rambo franchise. There was blood, there was death, there was heart. It was awesome. I really liked it.
There was heartbreak by me realizing this may or may not be the last Rambo film. Look, now the ending of this film, I'm not going to tell you, but it definitely leaves some questions as far as the future of the franchise. I don't really know what's going to happen, to be completely honest with you guys, but I will tell you that the setup at only 88 minutes long is exactly what you would want out of a Rambo film.
Such a good point. The 88 minutes. So look, they figured it out with Rambo 08. Once you got away from the drama of First Blood and you started to tilt into Rambo 2, Rambo 3, Rambo 4 needed to be exactly the length that it was, and this movie was the perfect setup, payoff. That was exactly what it was in the exact right amount of time.
Yeah, I think honestly Adrian Grunberg, the director of this film, he misses some of his best moments as far as like the kind of drama that he could possibly get out of Stallone based on sort of the stuff we've seen out of Creed and just sort of the more nuanced acting his later career has shown us. But the revenge stuff, the montages, the crazy violence, all of that stuff is done extremely well. It's executed very, very well. And I will say that I think when it kicks into full-on action movie mode, which is kind of a little bit more in like the Taken or John Wick sort of vein, it really does succeed.
Oh, it is excellent when it gets to that point because they lean into it. They lean into it fully, but in a way where you're like, yes, we are all on board. And just to speak about the director a bit more, I agree. He just felt a little green. That's all. Felt like he needed a little more experience under his belt.
You wonder what the editing was like, getting rid of some of the more poignant action scenes, emotional scenes, and really the acting scenes, and really just sort of making, I guess, the action what the movie was about, which in some ways is kind of what Rambo has been about over the years. It just felt like, for me, thinking back to First Blood, a movie that they do show a lot of clips of in the credits. They show you in the credits like scenes from all the films. As soon as that happened, it made me feel like I think this franchise had sort of a nobler intention than it had in this film, though I will say some of the stuff from Rambo 08 that I love so much, the really gruesome violence, was represented well in this film.
Yeah, they reused it in a different way. They made it fresh, they made it new, they made it even more intense. And I honestly agree with you in the sense of showing clips from from First Blood and from First Blood Part 2, you were like, those are better movies. Those are better movies. Like, even just showing, because there was just stills during the credits. This is not a spoiler. It was just stills of the old movies during the credits, and you were like, I missed that a little bit. Just a little bit.
I think 72-year-old grizzled Stallone, I like just slightly less than 62-year-old grizzled Stallone.
Yeah.
But he's still wonderful, and he looked amazing. He looked
really did.
Fucking amazing. Like, early on, riding a horse, he just looked like a goddamn legend. So on the whole, guys, I really, really, really enjoyed this movie.
You must go watch it. You have to go watch it this weekend so that you can check out AMA on Monday at 1 p.m. But you have to watch it anyway because there are some insane moments that, like, you can't even explain. You cannot explain them to someone. You can't be like, oh, you remember this? Someone that's seen it can be like, yeah, but you can never explain it to somebody.
The one scene in particular that comes to mind that I referenced in the intro is one of the most gruesome things I have ever seen in a movie. It was such a savage thing to have had happen. The whole theater experienced it the same way, and I will tell you...
I was like this. Legitimately. That was my only reaction.
Go see it in theaters, guys. This movie is going to rip your fucking heart out. You're going to love it. So thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Be sure to subscribe here to Action Industries. Check out our patreon.com/Team Action. And we will be back with more awesome reviews very soon. Thanks, guys. We'll see you soon.
Bye.